Okay. So we have three sections A, B, and C. And section A and section B are OTQs. And C is essays. The same pattern would be followed. And 50% is theory. And 50% is problem. Clear? It's 50-50.
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes they might ask just the problems, but we don't have that correct intel, right? So they can actually interchange topics and ask you. Okay. Nowadays, you see in AA, I think for almost 4 to 5 years, they haven't asked about threat and safeguards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time they changed the syllabus. Okay. So same way they might change something here and there again and again. Okay. As far as we have got the information, the syllabus hasn't changed, but we don't know what they're going to ask. So we are going to cover everything. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm just going to revise something that things that we learned in MA. All right. The first one is total cost. Okay. So for
Okay.
total cost, you have the production cost. That is while you make something, you're going to have, you're going to incur production related cost, maybe the raw materials, right?
Yeah.
Or the labor cost. Okay, so all the things that are directly linked into producing that product is the production cost. Okay,
Yes.
and that production, if you are going to find the total cost, you have to add with that the non-production cost as well. For example, administrative cost, right? So
Yeah.
this is one way to put the total cost. Okay. The second way is that you're going to take the prime cost. You know what is the prime cost? The raw materials and labor. The direct
Yes.
cost linked with the product is the prime cost, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to take the prime cost and you're going to take the overheads. Overheads are indirect cost. Clear?
Yes.
So this also can be one way to put the total cost. Clear?
Yeah.
And the third way is where you're going to take the fixed cost involved in production and you're going to add with it the variable cost. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So if you take these three things, either way, that is whatever you're going to choose, you're going to reach the total cost. Understood?
Yes.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now, this is what you studied in MA, right?
Yes.
That is a chapter dedicated towards the cost. In the beginning itself, you're going to acquainted with how these costs are divided, right?
Yes.
Now coming to performance management. Okay. So what is the objective of costing or what is costing? Tell me. Tell me what is costing in your own words.
Well, costing is to
Determine
the cost. Yeah.
how much you're going to have to incur while you produce your product, right?
Produce a product. Yeah.
Yeah. So management accounting and performance management. Okay. These two topics, unlike FR, it is related with the product itself, right? So
Yeah.
it is mostly related with manufacturing industry than a retail industry. Okay. A retail
Yes.
industry might also have its management cost, but unlike FR, we are not directly dealing with the final accounts. We are going to start from the scratch. Understood?
Yeah.
That is the difference. Okay. So in MA and PM, whatever we are focusing on, it starts from zero. Clear?
Yes.
Whereas FR is when you have already got every detail that you have in the industry or in the business, and then you're going to prepare the final accounts, right?
Yes.
So here it starts from the scratch. So that means what is the scratch that you have? If you're going to produce a product, it's raw materials,
Raw
it's labor,
materials.
it's overheads, right? So
Yeah.
everything taken together is the cost, and the cost is what the MA and PM deals with. Clear?
Yes.
And costing is the process to which you're going to quantify that amount. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, so what are the objectives of costing? First one, it's going to help the management and decision making. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood? And the second one is you can actually determine whether you want to make a product or you want to buy a product. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can also decide whether or not you should shut down a particular department or a particular branch. Clear?
Yeah.
The fourth one is where you can actually fix a selling price of the product. Clear?
Yes.
Next is how you're going to control the cost. Okay.
Okay.
And next is how you're going to reduce the cost. Okay. So costing helps you with all of these things. Clear? And
Yes.
seventh one is how you're going to fit a certain cost to a product. Clear?
Yeah.
So these are the objectives of costing. Clear, no?
Yeah.
Okay. And while you cover, all these things would be studied as chapters and divided into 5 different parts. Clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in order to take costing or in order to dive into costing, you need a plan, right?
Yeah.
So you need to plan first. So in performance management, you're going to plan. Okay. And the steps in planning is similar to what you studied before in your 11th and 12th, but a bit changes here and there. Clear?
Yeah.
So first of all, you're going to identify the objective. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Second, you're going to identify alternative solutions on achieving that objective. Same thing that we studied in 12th. Remember? I don't know if you remember. A slight memory somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we studied in, I think, the planning chapter, the same steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So in order to plan something, you need to have a goal. So first one is the objective. Clear? And in order
Yes.
to reach that goal, you can't just frame one plan. You need to have many alternative solutions. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. When you get different alternative solution, you're going to value each of them. That is evaluation of each alternatives. Clear?
Yeah.
And the fourth one, you're going to select the best alternative. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And the fifth one, after selecting, what would you do? You're going to implement the plan. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, does this stop here?
No.
If you
Monitor.
implement it, is it stop? No. You're going to collect the actual and planned output. Okay. And you're going to compare these things together. Clear?
Yeah.
And when you compare, that comparison is going to be with something ideal, right? That ideal figure is called as a standard. Understood?
Okay. The standard cost.
In PM, the standard is not similar to what you study in FR, right? In PM, standard has altogether a different concept, and that
Yeah.
concept is when there is something that you have planned in your mind, and that is called standard. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And it is according to that standard, you're going to evaluate the actual outcome in the business. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And when you do the step, there is going to be variances, right? So you need to respond to variances. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we have variances, there are two types of variances. One is what? Adverse. Clear?
Yeah.
And the other is favorable. Okay.
Yeah.
So adverse happens when actual results are bad or worse. Clear?
Yes.
And favorable happens when actual results are better than what we
Better.
have expected initially. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So these are the steps in planning. Now, I'm going to divide these steps Here from 1 to 4, this is a planning step. Clear? Planning
Okay.
stage. Okay.
Yeah.
And for 5, it is a decision making stage.
Okay.
Okay. And for 6 to 7, this is a controlling stage.
Control.
Understood?
Yeah.
Understood, no?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send this now. Just
Okay.
complete. Let me pause the recording. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, again, we're going to revise things that we studied, all right? Next is cost classification. Okay, so on the basis of element, first is on the basis of element, all right?
Okay.
This is the same thing that you studied in MA. We're just going to revise. Okay,
Okay.
so element wise, you have material cost. Okay, so
Yeah.
materials are things that you use for the production purpose. And the second one is the labor cost. Clear?
Okay.
Now, when it comes to material and labor cost, there are 3 types of things that you have. Okay. When it comes to material and labor cost, you have 3 types of things. One is the direct cost. Okay. Second
Yeah.
one is the indirect cost. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is the general expenses. Clear?
Okay.
And these 2 things are direct because it is always human related cost. Clear?
Okay.
It is going to be directly used towards the product. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, suppose you have anything that is not a human related cost, anything that is not a material cost, then you have expenses. Understood?
Yeah.
Cost other than material and labor cost. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood? No? Same thing.
Yes.
You studied this in MA.
Yes.
Okay. Second one is on the basis of traceability. Okay. So traceability is when you don't have any other scope, but you can actually divide the cost into direct and indirect. That is the same thing that we discussed about. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. The third one is on the basis of behavior. Okay.
Yeah.
So on the basis of behavior, we have certain cost that is going to be same regardless of the number of output, and that is called fixed cost. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Now suppose your cost changes with changes in input, then that is called variable cost. Clear? That is, it varies
Yeah.
from number of units used or number of labors used. Understood?
Yes.
Now, some part of the cost can be fixed and some part can be variable. In that case, it is called as semi-variable cost. Clear?
Yeah.
For example, electricity cost. You have a fixed charge, right?
Yes.
Maybe a fixed charge of a minimum charge of 100 rupees, and the rest
Yeah.
of the others are going to be varied
Variable.
upon the usage, right? So that type of cost is called as semi-variable cost. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Understood now? Okay.
Yes.
Next one, fifth one. On the basis of function.
Okay.
Okay, you studied, you would have studied MA very long back, right? You might have
Yes.
studied very long back. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so on the basis of function, you're going to divide the cost according to what you do in the organization. Understood?
Okay.
So if you look into it, you're going to have production, right? You're going to produce the product, and that
Yes.
cost involved in it is called the production cost. Understood? It can
Okay.
also be called as a manufacturing cost.
Cost. Yeah.
It can also be called as a factory cost.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
It can also be called as works cost. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
The second one is, see, producing the product alone is not enough, right?
Yeah.
You have to have you have to have an office. You have to have administrative duties,
Administration
right?
cost. Yeah.
You need accountants. You need clerks, right? So you're going to have
Yeah.
an indirect cost, and that is called as office and administration. Clear?
Yes.
This is something that we studied in FR, right?
Yes.
And the next cost is, this alone is not enough. You need to give goods. You need to distribute goods, right? So the third type of cost
Yes.
is selling and distribution cost. So according to function, you're going to categorize your cost. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. I think I
Yeah.
numbered it. 1, 2. This is 4, right? Okay. Now the fifth one and the last one, on the basis of management decision. Okay. So on this basis, you're going to have so many subtopics of cost. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
First one is sunk cost. Okay. Ring a bell. These are all
Okay.
things that you studied in MA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Studied in
So,
MA. Yeah.
yeah. So sunk cost is something that happened in the past. Clear? So this is something that
Yes.
already happened, and the sunk cost is the past cost. Clear? And it has
Yes.
already been happened. It's already incurred. Okay. And it won't be avoided because maybe if you're going to plan, if you're planning a new product, you're going to have a research cost. Okay. You're going to have planning cost, right? So all these things
Yeah.
would be categorized under sunk cost. Understood? Okay.
Yes.
And this is also called as historical cost. Clear? Because
Yes.
it's already happened. Understood? The next
Yeah.
cost, just a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So when you choose something for the other, you're going to have to lose something in return, right? So that is the
Yes.
opportunity cost. Understood?
Yes.
Next is imputed or notional cost. Okay. So this is not actually cost per se, but if you have a depreciation or if you have a time value of money involved in the cost, then that is called as imputed or notional cost. Understood?
Yes.
Next is relevant cost. Okay. Now, all these costs, you must know this is not a classification as per the format, or it is not a classification as per theory, right? It is just for management decision making. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're going to take decisions about your company, you're going to have to decide the cost which are going to be categorized under these groups. Understood?
Yeah.
Next is relevant cost. So relevant cost is when you're going to take incremental cash flows into consideration. Understood?
Yeah.
We'll discuss about it more. That's why I'm not explaining that. The last one is avoidable cost. Okay. So avoidable costs are those costs which can be avoided if you are not going to take a certain decision. Understood?
Yes.
Understood, no?
Yes.
Okay. I'll send this now. I'll just send everything, okay? That is
Yeah.
way easier. Okay. So we're going to discuss about the main classification that we are going to use all along. All right.
Yeah.
So in PM, most of the time you're going to use cost as direct cost and indirect cost. Clear?
Yeah.
And in direct cost, you have three types of things. The first one is direct material cost, that is the raw materials.
Okay.
The second one is the direct labor, that is the human resources that takes in order to transform the product into finished goods. Clear?
Yeah.
And any other cost that is directly linked, but it is not a material cost, but it is not a labor cost, then that is the direct expenses. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. And these three things together is called as a prime cost.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in indirect cost, you also have three categories. The first one is indirect material. Okay. Then we have indirect labor. Then we have indirect expenses. Understood?
Yeah.
Clear, no? And
Yes.
all these things together is called overheads. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other classification of overheads is where you're going to divide overheads according to its functions, right?
Yes.
And the first is the production overhead, where you are going to get costs related with manufacturing that product. The second function is the office and administration that we have already studied. Okay.
Yeah.
And the third function is selling and distribution cost. Understood?
Yes.
Okay, no?
Yeah.
Now, the production overhead, if we talk about it, it is the collection of all the indirect material, indirect labor, and indirect expenses. Understood?
Yes.
Of indirect material, indirect labor, and expenses that is related to production. Clear? Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now the next category is fixed cost. So these are all the terms that we are going to use in PM, majorly in PM. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we have anything that is fixed, but not according to how we produce or how much we produce, then that is called a fixed cost. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And this type of cost is going to be constant. That is, it is going to incur regardless of how many products you're going to produce. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the modern theory, we don't believe that a fixed cost is not going to change according to level of output. Okay. That is not believed. Nowadays, it is not so because we believe that to a certain extent, fixed cost is going to remain same. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so up to a level of output, the fixed cost is going to be same. But as far as it is there in that limit, it is just same. But when it exceeds that point, it is going to increase. Clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
after which it will be increased. Okay, long before in 11th and 12th, when we study I think in economics we studied that fixed cost is going to be constant. It is not going
Constant.
to change, right?
Yeah.
But in this concept, it is like a step. Okay, so up to this much, it is going to be a fixed amount. After that, it is going to vary. Understood?
Wait. Yeah.
Okay, no?
Yeah.
Now, so we have certain characteristics of fixed cost here. The first characteristic is it is totally fixed. It is not going to lessen. All right, it is not going to lessen. That is for sure. It is going to
Yeah.
be fixed. Okay. The second one is that per unit fixed cost are variable cost. Understood?
Okay.
The logic behind is that when you get a cost, you're going to break down, right?
Yes.
And when you break down, you get per unit fixed cost, right?
Yeah.
So if you have 2000 units and if you're going to incur maybe $5 per unit, so at 2000 unit you have $10,000, right?
Yeah.
But if you have 3000 units, then the fixed cost is going to change. That is
Okay.
3000 into 5, 15,000,
15,000.
right?
Yeah.
So if you look into it, per unit fixed cost can also be called as variable cost. Understood? Per unit fixed cost. I'm not talking about the total thing. I'm talking about per unit
Per
fixed
unit.
cost. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other characteristic of fixed cost is that at zero level of output, the fixed cost is constant. Clear?
Constant. Yeah.
That means you don't get a zero fixed cost. It's always there. It's not going anywhere. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other type is a variable cost. Okay. So variable cost is going to change according to the level of output. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. So our cost, which will vary according to level of output. So instead of saying it as output, I'm going to use another term that is activity. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, because why activity? Because in this area, we are going to acknowledge that it is not just the unit cost, it also can be hourly cost. Clear?
Yeah.
So instead of saying output, we are going to replace it with the word activity. Clear? Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are the characteristics? It is totally variable. That means it is going to change according to the level of output. Okay. Now, just think of it this way. If you get a variable cost per unit, it is going to be fixed to that per unit cost. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. So per unit variable cost is always fixed. That means to the increase, you're going to have to fix a variable output and it is going to be constant for all the output that is going to be produced. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, I'm stressing on the point per unit variable cost is fixed. It can come for OTQs. Understood?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, at the zero level, variable cost is also zero. Okay.
Yes.
Now, next one is semi. When do you have to leave, Faizan?
By 11 we can end so that I can get
Okay, by
ready.
11, no?
Yeah.
Next is semi-variable cost. Okay.
Okay.
Now, suppose there is a cost which is going to have two characteristics altogether. That is, some part of the cost is fixed and the other part is variable. Okay. In such a case, this is called as semi-variable cost. That means it have best of both the things. Understood?
Yeah.
So this is called as semi-variable cost. Clear?
Plus. Yeah.
For example, electricity bill. Understood? So you're going to have a minimum charge and you're going to have additional charge based on the usage, right? Or bus
Yes.
fare. Bus fare. You have a minimum charge. You're going to have to give additional charge based upon the travel. Understood?
Yes.
Clear, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, according to management decisions, there are certain things that you're going to study again. We're going to again deal with production cost. Okay.
Okay.
So there are many dimensions to a certain cost. So you have already studied one dimension. You're going to look it into production cost the other way. Understood? Okay. This much we know. The production cost is actually the cost that are related with production of goods and services, right?
Yeah.
So that means all cost related to production department is a production cost. Understood?
Yes.
Understood, no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in production department, you have two things. One is something that is directly attributable to the product. The other is related cost that is attributable to the product. Okay. So you
Yeah.
have prime cost, as we have studied earlier, direct labor, direct material, direct expense, right?
Yes.
And if it is not these three categories, it is called production overhead. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, direct cost that you have studied before only comes under production department. Clear?
Okay.
Okay, incurred only in production department. Clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is opportunity cost. A different intake of opportunity cost can be a benefit that is sacrificed or foregone. Clear?
Yeah.
And why that happened? Because you chose something better than the other. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood, no?
Yeah.
Next one is imputed cost. And imputed cost is hypothetical accounting cost. Clear? That means it is according to accounting assumptions. For example, in IFRS 16, we have lease, right?
Yes.
Under lease, we have studied imputed cost where you're going to assume that there is time value of money involved. So there is effective interest in the lease payments. There is present value. There is future value, right?
Yes.
So all these things actually doesn't have a real cash flow, but it is something that we assume in accounting terms, right?
Yeah.
And those cash flows or cost is called as imputed cost. Understood?
Okay.
Okay, it has no cash flows, but we assumed as such. Understood? So example is notional rent. So notional rent is when you have your own building, okay? And instead of renting it out, you're going to use it for your own office service. Understood? So that is a notional cost. That is not actually a
Okay.
relevant cost because it is not something that you incur, right?
Yeah.
But it can have opportunity cost. Understood?
Yes.
You have to think all the way. Next is depreciation, right? So depreciation necessarily in its existence is not something that has a real cash flow. Understood?
Yes.
But it is there. But it is there in accounting terms. So that is also an imputed cost. Understood?
Imputed cost. Yeah.
Understood, no?
Yes.
So etc. Umandini on the back in the phone. Just a moment.
Yeah.
Faizan, make sure you thorough with these classifications, all right?
Yeah.
Next is relevant cost. Okay. So relevant costs are
Recording?
relevant cost. Can you
Did
hear
you
me?
start? Yeah, I was asking, did you start the record?
I did not stop the recording, right? Just a
Okay.
moment. Okay. So these are future cost. Okay. So
Yeah.
these are future cost, and cost comes only when it increases, right? So you use the word incremental. Understood?
Okay.
So these are always incremental. That is an increasing in nature. It is going to
Okay.
increase. So
Okay.
future incremental cash flows is called as relevant cost. Understood?
Yeah.
So this is a very important topic altogether. Okay. So you
Relevant
have
cost. Okay.
characteristic of relevant cost as it is future in nature. That is future cost.
Yeah.
It is incremental in nature. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
And it is going to have some cash flows. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, no?
Yeah.
Now, when you deal with relevant costing, fixed costs are not generally relevant cost. Understood? Okay?
Yeah.
Fixed costs are not necessarily relevant cost, but it can be relevant cost if it is going to be a general fixed cost. A general fixed cost not a relevant cost, but it is going to be relevant cost if it is specific. Understood?
Okay.
That is, you are going to have a fixed cost because you are going to produce something.
Produce something. Okay.
Okay, you are going to have a fixed cost because you decide on shutting something down.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is specific. If it is specific to a certain decision, then that fixed cost is relevant.
Relevant. Yeah.
Otherwise, general fixed cost is not relevant. Understood?
Relevant. Yeah.
Understood? No?
Yes.
Next is the last topic. Okay, avoidable cost. So avoidable cost is when you have decided on not to take something. Okay, and it can be avoided as such. Or if you decide to take something, but that cost necessarily won't make a difference to your decision, then that is called avoidable cost. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood? No?
Yes.
Okay. Or in other terms, there is a cost, okay, which you would not incur unless you take this project. Then that type of cost is also avoidable cost. Understood?
Okay, but that is similar to relevant cost, right?
Yes, it is relevant cost. So it is taken under avoidable cost. So if there is something that, see, relevant cost have different shades, right? So one shade is avoidable cost. That's all.
Okay.
The other shade can be specific fixed cost.
Yeah.
So all these things comes under a subcategory of relevant cost. Understood?
Relevant cost. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
avoidable cost can be a specific cost attached to an activity. It can also be a cost which can be avoided if you haven't taken that project. Okay. It can also be something that does not exist in the business. Understood?
Yeah.
Or it can also be something which do not have any effect over the project that is taken. Clear? So
Yes.
depending upon the context, you can understand it. Okay, we'll discuss about this in the topic relevant costing, and it comes, I think, 2 or 3 chapter afterwards. Okay, it comes after, and I think ABC, target, throughput, and CVP. It comes under, I think it comes after 4 chapters. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so by the time we reach there, you will get more intel on it.
Okay.
I'll send this now. You're working in the same department as an auditor, right? The same that
Yes.
you said before, but
Yes. Yes.
why they are not giving work from home now?
Oh, the company's policies changed. Like IBM, they are calling for 100% work from
You
office
work
now.
in EY itself, right?
No, no, IBM.
IBM. Okay, okay. I I had got an interview actually. I think 2 weeks back from Crow,
Okay.
but
That's
I did something that was against interview etiquette.
what?
Actually, they told that they are going to call me. Okay,
Okay.
so I wasn't prepared for an interview,
Okay.
but they called me and they suddenly said you're going to have interview in 10 minutes, and they did a Google Meet,
Yeah, that's what
right?
they do. Even for me, they did the same
Yeah,
thing.
but
Yeah.
they should have given me heads up because
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared. I already did mention in my CV that I'm married and mother.
Yeah.
So I
You
was
could have asked
actually
them actually that I can't be doing it in minutes. Can you do it tomorrow or something? You
no. I
can.
thought I did not consider this offer seriously
Yeah.
before. Okay, so
Okay.
I wasn't actually fully prepared because I didn't actually consider doing a corporate job. Okay, but my
Yeah.
friends told me that it's a great opportunity. You don't want to miss it for sure, so you
Yeah.
have to attend it. So upon their they forced me to prepare for this. So I actually thought it would be bad to reject them straight away, right?
Yeah.
So I
Uh-huh.
told them it's okay, and I attended the interview. But at that time, I was actually giving lunch to my kids.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I think the interview etiquette was breached.
Okay.
The interview went well, but because of that etiquette thing, I think I got rejected.
Okay. So did they say anything about that?
At last, they did tell me that they are going to reply back with the next step in hiring process. I think they take 20 days in order to reach back,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But I'm assuming they're going to reject because there are marks for interview etiquette, right?
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't get the reply yet. So you
Yeah,
still don't know. Yeah, maybe it
I
will turn
don't
out to
know.
be better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I did slam that etiquette off.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, because I wasn't prepared. They didn't tell me, right?
so
And
is
I
this
was
in which role?
auditing.
Auditing only. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think they preferred my CV because I'm a faculty since 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they did not want
That's nice.
experience. Experience was not a problem because I was a faculty already. So they said, if you have knowledge and you are ready, we can take it. But I don't know
Okay,
whether
that's
it
nice.
is going to proceed, inshallah. If it is higher, it is going to happen.
Hello.
If it is not, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what. Okay.
Okay.
So Faizan,
And
yeah,
yeah, no, I was just asking, does your husband works in UAE as in audit
yeah,
in
he
this
works in
field?
UAE. He is a
Uh,
finance manager.
okay.
Yeah,
No, because I was thinking like if I share my resume, like if he'll be able to.
yeah, yeah. I'll tell him. I'll tell him. He's actually working for a Malayali company. It is
Okay.
not much. It's not a big company. It's just a small company that he is managing.
Okay. So is it based in
I,
Dubai or some Abu
yeah,
Dhabi or
it's in
some
Sharjah. It's in Sharjah.
Sharjah? Okay.
Yeah, I think you would get better opportunities elsewhere.
Okay. No, that's what I'm actually looking out for going to
Actually,
Dubai
there
or
is
Abu Dhabi somewhere.
Crow in Dubai as well. You can apply
Sorry?
in Crow is there in Dubai as well.
Okay.
Did you
Okay.
just log into their page?
No, I didn't.
You get careers section there, right? Apply it there.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
tell my husband, but I think it won't be as much you
Yeah.
expect. That is,
Okay. Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
you're
Sure.
already doing ACCA, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have a job which offers you at least about 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think my husband, I call him Shira. So Shira,
Okay.
I think he can arrange job up until 2,500 or 3,000. You could get more.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
tell him. I'll tell him anyway. If he has an offer above that salary, you can join.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
But don't start low. That is my opinion.
Yeah.
Don't start anything below 3,000 because you
Yeah,
already
sure.
have an experience, right?
Yeah.
So look for jobs above 4,000 maybe
Okay.
because you already have experience in hand. Are you planning to move abroad?
Yeah, I'm planning to move abroad actually. Like by next year, I'm planning to be in uh Dubai or Abu Dhabi. Yeah, actually, my brother-in-law also works in Abu Dhabi. He's a chartered
Okay.
accountant.
Okay, I
So
see. I see.
yeah, so I've
Okay.
been looking.
Also, apply from ACCA careers directly. Don't use LinkedIn because
Okay.
I found that people have called me back from ACCA careers more than LinkedIn.
Okay.
You know that site, right? Where we
Yeah, yeah,
have,
I know the
yeah,
site.
yeah.
Uh,
Apply
but I
from
don't
there.
think there are many job listings over there in the ACCA careers.
It is there.
Okay.
In fact, 3 months back, I applied in Pro from ACCA itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that to show my students, right? So I was on live. I was telling them you can apply it from here. So they didn't have that idea. So I was
Okay.
actually showing them how to apply on careers, and then they got back to me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I told other students as well, and they got call back from ACCA careers itself.
Okay.
So I think ACCA students have preference over careers when you apply from there.
Okay. Can you
Okay,
share me the Crow link?
okay, I'll share you the Crow link.
Okay.
Okay, they
Okay.
have a
Thank you.
careers page. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, no problem, Faizan.
Okay.
Did you study SAP? Study either SAP or Power BI. It's also going to help
Help.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, study
I
SAP
have
and Power BI.
the basic knowledge about it, but yeah, study because we use the same uh
Oh
thing
yeah,
tools
yeah.
over there for
So
SAP
that is
and
a
Power BI.
competitive advantage because last week in the interview they
Uh-huh.
did ask me if I know any other accounting software that I use.
Okay.
Yeah, but since I know, but it is Tally Prime, right? So Tally is something that is just used in India.
Yeah, Tally is just
Yeah, but she said it's okay if you know Tally also. It is good. You just need to know something about an accounting software. That's all.
okay.
Okay. I'll send
Yeah.
you the careers link of Crow. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Faizan.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
then
you. Yeah.
write the last page that I've sent you and study and come tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Faizan. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.